Hello and welcome, I'm TobyJonesDrums and thank you for tuning in into another drum lesson. Now, I know I haven't uploaded in a month, but the whole studio now looks insane and I've also started university as well, so it's been really difficult to try and get an upload or film anything like this in here now. But I'm now doing a lesson right now and it's going to be the best video I've done on this channel, so hope you enjoy it. Now, as you've learned from the title of this video, we're going to try and do 5 different disco beats in about 10 minutes. Now, to give you some context, if you don't know what disco is, it's a style of pop from the late 70s. It's intended to dance to, and it's kind of like soul influenced as well. And we're going to try and do that today on a drum kit. Now, each of these grooves are very, very similar, I will admit that, but they will get harder as we go along through the video. Now, I should also mention that the track that I used at the intro of this video is available for you to listen to and use. If you go over to my Patron, you can subscribe there for very, very low price, and you get access to all the tracks that I make for all drum lessons. Okay, so for all of these grooves, you're going to need to know 2 things. You're going to have 4 on the floor on the bass drum, so it means for every crotchet, every quarter note, we're going to have a bass drum. The second rule is that we're going to have a backbeat on the snare for every single groove. These never change. So before we learn any of these grooves, I just want you to lock those things in, and then we can start learning the first groove. So if we look at our first groove then, our bass and snare drum pattern is as I just said, and then our hi-hat is going to be every other 8th beat, or offbeats as we like to say. That's the entire groove. So the bass drum's doing quarter notes, the hi-hat's doing offbeat, syncopating with that bass drum, and then the snare's going to be backbeat. That's the whole groove. Let's try this at 90 BPM. If you can't try it that fast, then by all means start a bit slower, but we're going to do our goal tempo of 130 today. Good luck. Now, if you found that a little bit tricky, not to worry, because all of these grooves are really, really similar. We're just going to add a little bit for these grooves. So if you've managed to get the first one, you've pretty much got the whole concept. So these other ones shouldn't be that much harder. All right, before we learn our next groove then, please do hit that subscribe button at the bottom. It's completely free and you can always change your mind, but I encourage you not to. All right then, so our second groove then is going to be literally exactly the same as the last one. However, we've now got open hi-hats rather than just closed hi-hats. So it means that our feet basically are going to be doing this. Now that may seem a bit weird, but literally just try doing that on its own, getting your left foot and right foot working together, and then doing the offbeats on the hi-hat. It's going to sound a bit weird, but you will just tidy that up over time, and then that's the whole groove done. So let's play this all together at the same tempos. Okay, so our third groove is going to sound really similar to the last one. However, rather than doing offbeats, we're now doing eighth notes completely. So there's no resting with our hi-hat. But we're still going to be opening and closing those hi-hats. We're just going to be playing eighth notes. Everything else is the same. Let's try this one at the same tempos. Okay, so we're already on to the last two grooves now. These last two are quite a bit more difficult, but it's literally just a little change, and it does make it a little bit harder, but it'll be fine. So the biggest difference we've got in this groove is we've now got 16th notes rather than 8th notes. We're not opening that hi-hat anymore, but we will be accenting those offbeats still, so we still get that disco dance feel. Let's try this one at the same tempos. Okay, so you've probably guessed it already. This last groove, rather than doing accents, we're going to be opening that hi-hat. Now this one's really hard not to be sloppy, so we want to make this one as clean as possible so it just sounds nice, basically. This one's also a little bit trickier to get to that final goal tempo, but just start a bit slower and you'll be there no problem. All right, let's give it a shot. Good luck, guys. Okay, so that's all the grooves done. I believe there's still a lot more to be learned than just 5 grooves, so I'm going to help you how to make these grooves even better and then how to apply them. The first tip is to get all the notes sounding as clean and as tight and as even as possible. Now, even though that's just a bit of an obvious thing, you may not be doing this. If that bass drum is not even consistent, it's probably not going to be as good as it can be. That way, it's just going to sound not like a drum machine, but it's just going to sound so much more powerful when all those notes are playing together. I also believe that the bass drum should be the loudest part of this groove, as disco is quite bassline heavy, so I think if it's driving, it's going to sound really, really nice. So if you've got that independence, try and bring the right hand down a bit, and then add more to your kick drum. Okay, so the next bit now is all up to you. I've taught you as much as I can via a video. Now it's up to you to apply these new grooves, learn around them, use some fills around them. It's all up to you now. It's all your creativity. I've taught you everything that I can via video, so it's now up to your creativity to do what you can with them. A couple of things I can suggest, just put on a random song that isn't disco, so maybe one of your favorite pop songs or favorite bit soul maybe, and just play disco over it. Even though it's not going to fit, maybe, make it fit. Whether that's using all the different grooves, not opening the hi-hat maybe, using different kind of accents in different places, all these kind of things that you can apply from the grooves that I've taught you today. Another thing you can do, which is really, really helpful, is making this a technical exercise. So you can do a bar or two of each of these different grooves and combine them all together into making it an exercise. That way you're going to make your bass drum and snare consistent, because we don't want that to change, and we're all going to be doing independence with just the right hand making changes. Could be worth doing. I've not tried it myself, but maybe it's worth doing. Give it a go. Okay, I know I've already said this, but please do hit that subscribe button. I have just hit my 100 sub milestone, but obviously I don't want to stop there, so please do hit that subscribe button. It's completely free, and it really does help me out. Also, if you want to find out more about me, then please do follow me on my Facebook and Instagram. There you can find more behind the scenes of the videos and when the next upload is going to be. And if you want to find out about all my gear and anything like that, then it will all be on my website at TobyJonesDrums.co.uk. Alright guys, that's all from me. I've been Toby Jones Drums, and I'll see you in the next one.